Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alyssa. I'm 33 years old. I live in Tennessee. I'm self-employed and I am documenting my financial journey here on YouTube. And happy February, first of all. I am here to budget my first paycheck of February, which is $1,450. And this ready to assign also includes $129.34 of interest that I received from my high yield savings accounts. And it also includes $175 from pet sitting, which I'm actually currently doing as we speak. So apologies in advance if there are any dog ASMR sounds. And then they also live on kind of a busy road and this mic picks up everything, so apologies for any suburban Tennessee ASMR that you may hear. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I am the type of ynabber. This is ynab, by the way. You need a budget. This is what I use to budget my life and I highly recommend it. I am the type of ynabber to I create a next month category to fund my bills and my more fixed expenses in the next month. Right now, I don't really like to fund my savings goals and my discretionary spending in the next month. I just prefer to do that week by week. I may change my mind in the future, but that's just how I prefer to do it now. And I do a next month category rather than physically going into the next month and budgeting my money, just because then it makes it easy for me to just replenish this amount by a certain amount every week. For instance, my living expenses right now are about $1,000 a month, so I can contribute $250 back to this fund throughout the month to get it back to where it was and where I need it for the next month. And the reason this is higher than $1,000 is I currently live with my parents, so I do not have to pay rent, thankfully, but I am looking to move out this year, probably like the May-June timeline. So I'm anticipating my living expenses to be at least $2,000, probably like $2,200, but I overshot and I have $2,500. Well, it was $2,500. If you missed my last video, my January expenses video, I ended up having to pay my health insurance. I knew I was going to double pay because I was switching healthcare providers, but then long story short, I accidentally double paid for my first month of my new insurance, so I don't have to pay in February, but obviously I had to find that money from somewhere, so I partly funded that third healthcare insurance payment from this next month fund. So I'm just going to have to fund this a little extra this month, and that is totally fine. But I do want to get that back up to $2,500. And another reason I use the next month category rather than going physically into the next month is I just like to fund everything all at once and just know at the beginning of the month that everything is funded rather than flipping ahead and funding things one by one, week by week. I just prefer to do it all at once. It feels good. So do what works best for you. But let's go ahead and go to my bills view. Actually, wait, no, I do this weird thing. I have this silly little holding category up here for holding my money at the beginning of the month while I assign my next month funds. I just prefer to mentally and physically just keep these dollars separate because I specifically saved these dollars to fund my bills for this month. So I don't know, it just makes my brain happy and tingly to specifically use these dollars to do that. It's all one big pot of money in the long run, so it really doesn't matter, but this is just what I like to do. So I go to my bills section. So these are all my like fixed things that I like to fund every month, and I actually need to pay my 6-month premium this month, and I just got my quote. It's going to be $346.57. And if you're looking for cheaper car insurance, highly recommend State Farm. I think I said Allstate in a previous video, but I have State Farm, and they're the cheapest coverage I've ever gotten for like the most coverage. I have really good coverage now that I've never had before. Now that I learned a little bit more about car insurance and why I should maybe have a little bit more coverage for myself, I went ahead and did that. And State Farm they gave me a really good discount. I also use their Safe Driver app, and that gives a really good discount as well. So anyway, check out State Farm if you're looking for cheaper health or car insurance. Okay, so that is funded. And let's go ahead and take care of these overspending. So I always send my mom, these are bills that I pay to her. I am on their family phone plan, so I send her $33 for my portion. And then my mom and I share a storage unit. So this is my half of the storage unit. And I pay these both to her on the first of every month. So these already came out and I just need to cover the overspending. So we'll fund those. And then, so we're going to fund my gym, which is $15 a month. And then my subscriptions that I just have a few subscriptions that are around $30 a month. And then and then my medical bills. That I had about $4,000 worth of bills from my endoscopic sinus surgery and septoplasty that I had last summer. So I'm just slowly paying that off because it was a 0% interest payment plan. So those bills will be done around June, which is perfect because that's when I'm planning to move out and my living expenses will be going up. So it'll be nice not to have to pay that anymore. And then we can go ahead and snooze my health insurance target for this month. But I also want to change this target. So I signed up for a healthcare.gov plan, and they give you a credit based, well, if you're eligible. If you make under a certain amount, you can get a credit towards your health insurance premiums. So I tried to play it conservative with what I thought I would make this year, but I still wanted to create a little bit of a buffer in this category. So my premium is $280 every month, and I originally set it for $300 to create a little bit of a buffer just in case I ended up making more money than I thought, and then I might owe some of that credit back at the end of the year. But I decided against creating that buffer for myself because I already have a buffer going in my tax savings account, so I don't need to be double saving for possible taxes that I owe. So I'm just going to change this to the premium amount, and then it comes out on the 15th. So that's all good. And then I actually want to make one more change. I would like to add therapy to what I fund at the beginning of every month. It just makes sense. I go every 4 to 6 weeks and it's a non-negotiable, like I'm going to go. So yeah, might as well fund it at the beginning of every month and not even have to worry about it. So now that that's all done, we can go back and fix this overspending from my next month category. And then we can go ahead and put this money back into ready to assign and assign it out. So I'm going to replenish $250 back to my next month fund, get that back up to $2,500 this month. And then I always set aside $350 for taxes because I am a 1099 contractor, so I have to pay quarterly taxes. And by the way, I think I mentioned maybe once before what I do, but I do email marketing. And yeah, that's what I do. I get paid to send people emails. Don't hate me, please. And okay, we're going to skip my fun money for now. I don't need gas this week, so we'll skip that. For groceries, this should be plenty, but I'll just top this off to $40. That should be good. Don't need any household. All that is good. And then I'm just going to put $50 towards this. I'll probably just do $50 a week towards that $200 goal into my car fund. So this is me saving for a future car and car maintenance and my deductible for my insurance, stuff like that. So now let's go up to my fun money. So I have this holding category where I give myself $75 a week to then disperse to my fun money categories as needed. And I'm really enjoying this. So I just started doing this last month. And before that, I would kind of just allocate, I would give myself $20 a week to go out to eat, and I would give myself, I think, $25 towards personal care and stuff like that, and a little bit of giving money. And I find that I'm really enjoying the spontaneity that having just a holding category gives me. For example, when I was just giving myself $20 a week to go out to eat, if I was invited to go out an extra time that I wasn't accounting for, it would kind of feel bad. Like, obviously I had money that I could pull from other discretionary categories, which is fine to do, but for whatever reason, it just kind of, I didn't like that. It just made me feel bad. And so I like that this holding category just kind of takes away that guilt. Like, I can spend this money however I want to. If I want to spend, $150 in a month going out to eat, that's totally fine. If I don't go out to eat and I go to like a $300 concert one month, that is totally fine. So I'm really enjoying having this holding category. However, it is building up a little bit. I still haven't decided what I want to do with like the quote unquote extra money that builds up in here. I guess I'll just decide that later in future months. But for now, I'm just giving myself $75 a week and just giving myself permission to spend that. So let's go ahead and just get rid of this extra $220, put that back in my next month fund. And then I'm really trying to go hard in my investments this year. So I'll add all of that to my retirement. In fact, if you missed my last video, I mentioned that I actually want to change this target to, I would like to invest $30,000 this year. I just wasn't anticipating being able to invest $7,500 in January. So that put me at 25% funded of now my $30,000 goal. So I think $30,000 will be a good stretch goal. Like, it's still a very realistic goal for me, probably not even really a stretch goal, but I just want to go super hard this year while I'm motivated and get this money into the market, and then probably let off the gas after this year. But that's just my major focus this year, is investing as much as I can. So with that being said, so these categories down here that have money still in them, these are from when I combined a bunch of categories last month when I was redoing my budget. So I have all this leftover money that I wasn't sure if I would leave it here or let it sit here. I think for now I feel okay. Just, I'd like to get this contribution amount up to $1,250. So I'm just going to let's take 50 from seeing and doing. And then we'll take 150 from gifts. Oops. And yeah, that feels fine. I'm cool with that. And then I can contribute $1,250 to my investments this week. So that's it for me. I really hope you guys have an amazing week and a great start to your February, and I will see you in my next Budget With Me video next week. All right, bye guys. Thanks for watching.